If you've ever wondered, is God disappointed in you? You're not alone. I've had this question myself because before coming to Jesus, I was caught in cycles of lust and pornography, and I was super anxious and depressed. And I was like, man, I feel like even after salvation, there are moments where I disappoint God. There are moments where I let Him down, and moments where I don't feel like I'm enough. And I want to break that lie because it is a lie. So we're going to look at the Bible. We're going to look at Hebrews chapter 4 today and unpack why it's a lie. I'm using ChatGPT as a study buddy. Obviously, there's a lot of resources out there, but this one is just quick. It's easy. I have a lot of questions that I ask it to like prove itself. And we all use chat, so it doesn't even really matter. But Hebrews 4:15 and 16, we're breaking the lie today that God is disappointed in you, because that's not true. And let's look at the Bible to prove it. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Okay, there's a lot here. When I study a Bible verse, I kind of go based off of what questions pop into my head. First question that popped into my head, I actually already have this one typed up, but I know the word sympathize, and I feel like a lot of times when you hear something, you're like, that's good, So I read over the word sympathize, and I'm like, good. But I didn't actually the definition wasn't like popping up in my head. I was like, what does it mean to sympathize? And it's telling us that the Greek word for sympathize means to suffer with. So it says we have a high priest who suffers with us in our weaknesses. Someone that's been where you've been, someone that's felt what you've felt, but he still loves us. Jesus suffered with us in weakness. He was our high priest, and he felt what we felt. So it wasn't like from a distance he's like, oh no, I don't understand what you're feeling. Like, I'm all high and mighty. But that was why Jesus came and put on flesh. That was why he became a human, so that he could suffer with us, that he could feel what we feel, to be able to sympathize us and to understand us, to grasp who we are, what we have to go through, and what we feel. Jesus felt our weakness, and he suffered with us in that. He was tempted in every way, just as we are, but he didn't sin, which is crazy. And then I'm like, okay, well, what is that? What is a high priest? Because cool, it's like, oh, we have a high priest. What does that even mean? But if you're like me and you just kind of like, I don't understand the importance of a high priest, like who are they and what does it matter? The high priest's main role was to stand between sinful people and a holy God. So what they would do is that they would wear these garments, and once a year they would like go into the temple and pray. This is what it says. The high priest would enter the holy place, and he would offer sacrifices for all people's sins. He would wear special garments, he carried blood, and he prayed on behalf of people. No one else could enter God's presence that way, only the high priest, and only with the sacrifice. So essentially, without a high priest, there was no access to God. So people couldn't come to God except through the high priest. But now that we have Jesus, it says he is our new priest, our new high priest. Verse 14 says, we have a great high priest who passed through the heavens, Jesus. Jesus is our high priest. Jesus is the high priest that is able to sympathize with our weakness. He's not someone that's like, oh, I don't understand. He is able to sympathize with us in our failure, with us in our struggles. He sympathizes. He understands. He's like, yeah, dude, I've been where you've been. I felt what you felt. And I still love you, and I still choose you. He's not disappointed. It says, and I'm like, well, what is it? Why does it matter? So what is a high priest, and why does it matter? Jesus is the final high priest. He is the great high priest. He is perfect. He gives us access to God all the time. And he represents us before the Father. So just as the high priest back then would go before God in the temple and represent the people to God, Jesus goes before God to us and represents us. So when God sees you, he sees the Father. Or when God sees you, he sees his son, Jesus. He doesn't see your sins. He doesn't see your mistakes. Jesus took that for us on the cross. So it says we can go before him. Let us then, with confidence, draw near to the throne of grace. When you're ashamed, when we feel shame and we're like afraid, you can't go, you're not moving in confidence. If you're scared, you're like, oh, I don't really know. Like, I don't want to offend God. I don't want to bother God. You're kind of move with a little bit of fear. But he's saying, let us draw near. Let us then, with confidence, draw near. Whoa, draw close to God. Draw close to grace. That we can receive mercy and find grace. Because Jesus sympathizes with us. Because he understands us, we're able to come confidently before God and get the grace and get mercy that we need. We don't deserve it, but he gives it to us when we draw near to him because he understands. If I can understand that God understands me, then I can trust him. If I know that he understands me and my weakness and my pain and when I feel tempted, I'm not afraid and I'm not thinking, oh, God doesn't love me. No, he loves me even in my weakness. He understands my frailty. He's not disappointed in me. And if I can trust that God isn't expecting me to be perfect, if I can know that God isn't expecting me to have my life together, that he knows that I'm weak, that means I could trust him with my life because I don't have to perform. I don't have to do anything to prove something to him because he is good. He understands our weakness. He understands my weakness. He lived as a human. He was tempted in every way, just as we are. But he didn't sin. And because of that, we can come confidently before God and receive grace and receive mercy. So if you're still like, God, are you disappointed in me? The answer is no. He understands you and he loves you. And if you can trust that, you'll be able to trust that God has a plan for your life and trust that he has a purpose for you. So what area do you believe that God is disappointed in? You need to surrender that to him. If you're holding on to shame for a sin that you did, maybe it was last night, maybe it was a year ago, something that you haven't told God or anybody, you need to be open. Be honest about it. Say, God, I am struggling with shame. I feel like you're disappointed in me. He's not. He loves you and he understands, but he also has so much more for you. Draw near to him. Receive that grace and the mercy that is promised when you come confidently before him because you understand that he understands you. If this was helpful, I need you to grab the Foundation of Faith ebook. It's free in the description below. It will help you understand God's love for you so that you can actually trust him with your life. Also, comment below what stood out, what you want to hear next, and check out this next video.